Good morning, church. So today we are in chapter 5, and we have this encounter that Jesus has, the third sign, again, pointing the way to the reality and truth of who he is. It says, after this, a Jewish festival took place, and Jesus went up to Jerusalem. By the sheep gate in Jerusalem, there is a pool called Bethsaida in Aramaic, which has 5 colonnades. Within these lay a large number of the disabled, blind, lame, and paralyzed. One man was there who had been disabled for 38 years. When Jesus saw him lying there and realized that he had been there a long time, he said to him, "Do you want to get well?" What kind of question is that? Do you wonder? Jesus walks up to this guy who's been there 38 years, and he never asked this to anybody else. This is the only time we see this question get asked of somebody. There's another blind man. Jesus asks him, "What do you want me to do for you?" or "What do you want?" And so that's kind of a different question. This question here, do you want to be made well? And I think this is a question that Jesus really asks us, and it's surprising the answer. Do you want to be well in your spirit and in your heart? And often the answer is no. There's a band called Disciple. They're a hard rock Christian band, and they have a song called Misery, and a line is, "I don't want your help. I don't want to get better. All I want is your sympathy." And I've met people like this. They have no desire for real healing. All they really want is for people to feel bad for them. They've embraced that role that they're a victim of what life inflicts upon them, and there's nothing that can be done. And so Jesus reaches into that life and says, "Do you want to be better? Do you want me to heal you?" And we need to be able to say, yes, I want to be lifted out of this muck and the mire, like when Jeremiah was cast down into that muddy cistern and he sank in the mud. If we're not willing to lift our eyes up to the hills from whom our help comes from, Jesus is not going to be able to do much for us. Because we can resist him. We can push back on that offer of grace that he gives. We can say, I'd rather stay sick. Because health has a risk. If I'm healthy, if I'm well, if I'm fully functioning, understanding my identity of who I am in Christ, then he can give me tasks. He can ask me to do stuff. He can make me live in this risky kind of world that is totally dependent upon the grace of God. But if I just sit back, if I wallow in that misery of life, and I refuse his offer of health and being well again, then I'm safe, because I know what I've got. Nothing, but at least I'm not at risk of doing something I'm not comfortable with. I'm comfortable in my miserableness. So I'm encouraging you today, church. Jesus is offering us wellness, wholeness, a wealth of his grace and his goodness. Let's take his hand and let's stand up and let's follow after him and pursue him in the life that he has, as we just delight in the abundance of his mercy and his grace. I love you, church. We'll talk to you soon.